Welcome to a spine-chilling journey through Japan's most haunted schools, where eerie whispers, ghostly apparitions, and unexplained phenomena lurk behind every classroom door. From abandoned halls to active campuses, these schools carry dark histories and restless spirits. Join us as we uncover the real stories behind Japan's most supernatural educational institutions. Prepare to be captivated by the unsettling truths that refuse to stay hidden. Stay tuned, because what you're about to hear might just make you think twice about ever stepping foot in a school again. One old Fuchu Elementary School, Tokyo. Tucked away in Tokyo's Fuchu district lies the eerie shell of the old Fuchu Elementary School, a place that has long since ceased to echo with the laughter of children and instead whispers with something far more unsettling. Abandoned decades ago, this school has become one of Japan's most talked about haunted locations. Locals claim the building harbors a deep, lingering sadness. Stories of strange noises, flickering lights, and cold drafts where no wind should blow are common. Former students and urban explorers report hearing phantom footsteps in empty hallways, the sound of chalk scraping against long-forgotten blackboards, and the inexplicable scent of incense wafting through classrooms. One of the most chilling legends involves the fourth-floor girls' bathroom, where it's said a spirit named Hanako-san appears in the last stall, her story mirroring the classic Japanese ghost tale of the same name, but with a darker twist. Witnesses have claimed to see a young girl in a red skirt vanish before their eyes or to hear sobbing echoing from behind locked doors. There are even rumors that a teacher took their own life in the school during the post-war years, and that their spirit now lingers near the teacher's lounge, sometimes appearing in windows at night. Though the building is no longer in use, it hasn't been demolished. Some say because every attempt to tear it down ends in mysterious accidents or unexplained delays. Overgrown vines now crawl up its crumbling walls, and nature seems to reclaim the site, yet the air around it feels unnaturally still. Despite being sealed off, thrill-seekers and paranormal investigators still find ways in, drawn by the chilling tales that continue to swirl around the old Fuchu Elementary School, an abandoned place where childhood innocence and unspeakable fear seem forever entwined. Do you like this personality? To Nakagusuku High School ruins, Okinawa. Deep within the subtropical jungles of Okinawa lie the haunting remains of Nakagusuku High School, a building that was never even completed yet holds a terrifying reputation as one of Japan's most cursed locations. Construction began in the 1970s with plans for a large, modern high school, but from the very start, workers reported strange happenings. Tools vanishing, eerie whispers in the wind, and a heavy, oppressive atmosphere on the site. The school was built dangerously close to ancient burial grounds and sacred sites known as utaki, which are deeply respected in Okinawan spiritual tradition. Locals warned developers not to proceed, claiming the land was cursed, but their warnings were ignored. Not long after, the construction company owner reportedly suffered a mental breakdown, and multiple workers were injured or experienced strange health issues. Eventually, the project was abruptly abandoned, leaving behind an eerie skeleton of concrete corridors and stairways leading nowhere. Over time, the site became a hotspot for ghost hunters and urban explorers, many of whom report terrifying experiences. Unseen hands grabbing at them, disembodied screams echoing through empty halls, and sudden drops in temperature. One popular legend tells of a female spirit, seen weeping near the upper levels, believed to be tied to the disturbed graves. Some believe that the restless souls of those buried beneath the foundation are exacting their revenge for the desecration of their sacred land. Despite being officially off-limits, Nakagusuku High School has gained a mythic status among Japan's haunted locations. Police occasionally patrol the area to keep trespassers out, but that hasn't stopped thrill-seekers from venturing in, drawn by the promise of confronting something beyond the living. The building stands as a stark reminder of the consequences of disturbing the past, an unfinished school frozen in time, and possibly haunted forever. 3 Okinawa Sunshine School ruins. Hidden in the lush, humid outskirts of Okinawa lies the infamous Sunshine School ruins, a decaying structure wrapped in mystery and fear. Unlike most haunted schools in Japan, this one is shrouded in speculation because little official documentation exists, fueling an unsettling allure. According to local legends, the school was built during the post-war boom but shut down shortly after due to a series of disturbing incidents. Some say multiple children went missing on campus, while others whisper about violent outbursts among students and staff that couldn't be explained. Whatever the truth, the school was abandoned in the early years of operation and left to rot beneath the relentless Okinawan sun. Now, nature has overtaken the building. Thick vines crawl up the moldy walls, shattered windows gape like dark, accusing eyes, and the roof has partially caved in, exposing rusted beams like broken bones. Urban explorers describe a heavy atmosphere inside, where time seems to stop and even the bravest feel watched. Reports include eerie laughter echoing through empty halls, desks that move on their own, and shadow figures darting just out of sight. One of the most chilling rumors is of a former principal who, driven mad by unknown forces, disappeared within the school and was never found. Visitors often discover strange, childlike scribbles on the chalkboards that reappear even after being wiped clean. Locals avoid the area entirely, claiming that bad luck follows those who enter. Though many believe the Sunshine School is nothing more than an urban legend, those who've stepped inside speak of an overwhelming sadness, an energy that clings to the skin long after leaving. Whether a forgotten building with a troubled past or a nexus of something darker, the Sunshine School ruins continue to draw those searching for answers, or for the thrill of confronting the unknown. For Hachioji Junior High School, Tokyo. In the quiet outskirts of Tokyo, Hachioji Junior High School holds a reputation that goes far beyond its unassuming appearance. What seems like just another aging school building becomes deeply unsettling once you hear the whispers that have surrounded it for decades. The haunting here is tied closely to the tragic story of a young girl who reportedly took her own life in the school's music room after enduring severe bullying. Since then, students and teachers alike have reported hearing the melancholic sound of a piano playing softly at night, despite the music room being locked and empty. Some even claim to see a figure in a white dress staring out from the music room window, only for her to vanish when approached. Over the years, multiple reports of cold spots, phantom footsteps, and sudden nosebleeds among students have added to the fear that something is seriously wrong within those walls. The school attempted to quietly move classrooms away from the affected area, but word spread quickly, and the story became cemented in local urban legend. What makes Hachioji's haunting especially unsettling is that it hasn't been abandoned like other haunted schools. It's still in operation. Students today still talk about the girl in the music room in hushed tones, and many refuse to go near it after sunset. Teachers, too, have admitted to hearing things they can't explain, though most try to dismiss the stories to avoid panic. Paranormal investigators who visited the site have captured strange audio recordings, soft crying, sudden bangs, and one clip that seemed to include a voice whispering, "Help me!" Whether it's the lingering energy of a life cut short, or something more sinister, Hachioji Junior High School continues to blur the line between ordinary education and supernatural dread. 5 Okiku Elementary, Himeji Castle grounds. Tucked in the heart of Himeji, near the famed Himeji Castle, lies an eerie tale tied to Okiku Elementary School. The school itself is relatively new, but the legend it carries with it dates back centuries, rooted deeply in the folklore surrounding the nearby castle. The story begins with Okiku, a young servant girl who worked in the castle during the Edo period. According to the legend, she was falsely accused of losing a precious plate from a collection of 10. Despite her innocence, Okiku was tortured and eventually thrown into a well to die, where her anguished spirit is said to haunt the area ever since. Over time, her spirit is believed to have transferred to the nearby school, which was built over the grounds of her tragic demise. Those who have ventured near the well claim to hear Okiku's mournful cries late at night, echoing from beneath the ground. The school itself has a strange reputation, with students reporting chilling experiences. Some say that when they stand near the school's well, they hear the sound of dripping water, even though it has been dry for years. Others describe sudden cold drafts, or the sensation of being watched when walking near the schoolyard at night. There are even accounts of students feeling an overwhelming sense of dread, like a cold hand on their shoulder or a whisper in their ear. Local lore has it that if you stand by the well and count to 10, Okiku's ghost will appear, but the count is always interrupted by her eerie wails, forever seeking the missing plate that cost her life. Whether a product of urban legend or an ancient, restless spirit, Okiku's presence still lingers, casting a chilling shadow over the school and those who dare to approach. 6. Horikoshi High School, Tokyo. Horikoshi High School in Tokyo, known for its prestigious history, is also infamous for being home to some of Japan's most unnerving supernatural occurrences. Located in the bustling Shibuya district, Horikoshi has a reputation for excellence, with alumni that include famous figures in entertainment and politics. Yet, the school is equally known for its dark history, which locals have whispered about for decades. The haunting here is tied to the tragic death of a former student in the 1970s, a popular and well-loved individual who, after a failed romance, took their own life on the school grounds. Since then, eerie reports have surfaced, primarily centered around the school's gymnasium and the surrounding corridors. Teachers and students alike have reported an unsettling presence, particularly when walking the hallways late at night. Those brave enough to venture into the gym after hours have claimed to hear basketballs bouncing on their own, or the sound of footsteps following them, only to turn and find no one there. Some even report seeing the faint outline of a person standing in the shadows, just enough to send chills down the spine. One particularly chilling legend involves the school's courtyard, where a student is said to have been found hanging from a tree. The spirit of this individual, it's said, roams the area, appearing to those who stray too far after dark. Though the school remains operational, the eerie reputation persists, with numerous accounts of strange occurrences that remain unexplained. Despite the modernity of the school and its prestigious standing, the ghosts of Horikoshi High continue to haunt both its halls and its history, leaving an unsettling legacy that few are willing to forget. 7. Goshikizuka School, Kobe. The Goshikizuka School in Kobe, Japan, is one of the most mysterious and chilling abandoned school sites in the country. The school was once a place of learning, but after a series of tragic events, it was suddenly closed in the 1980s, and since then, it has gained a reputation for being haunted. What makes Goshikizuka especially eerie is not just its abandoned state but the dark history associated with it. In the years leading up to its closure, several students mysteriously disappeared, with no clear explanation for their vanishing. Local legends suggest that these disappearances were tied to the school's proximity to an old burial site, believed to be the resting place of ancient spirits disturbed by the construction of the school. Over time, the school became a hotbed for paranormal activity. Urban explorers and ghost hunters who ventured into the ruins report unsettling experiences, strange whispers that seem to come from nowhere, sudden drops in temperature, and disembodied footsteps that follow them through the decaying hallways. Some claim to have seen shadowy figures lurking in the corner of their eyes or felt an overwhelming sense of dread in certain rooms, particularly near the old classroom building and the darkened basement. One of the most chilling tales involves a group of students who ventured into the school after it was abandoned, only to be found days later, disoriented and speaking of an unseen presence that pursued them throughout the night. Despite the warnings and the school's reputation, Goshikizuka remains a popular, albeit terrifying, destination for those drawn to the paranormal, where the echoes of its tragic past seem to linger in the crumbling walls. 8. Seinen Gakuen High School, Fukuoka. Naro's Ikoma High School, nestled in the picturesque Ikoma Mountains, is famous not just for its scenic surroundings but for the unsettling paranormal activity that has plagued it for decades. The school's haunting is believed to be rooted in an ancient tragedy. According to local legends, during the Meiji period, the site of the school was once home to an old temple, and the spirits of monks who died in mysterious circumstances still haunt the area. The school's proximity to the mountain also adds to its eerie allure, as it is said to be built on land where battles were fought in centuries past. Over the years, students and faculty members have reported strange occurrences, particularly in the older parts of the building. One of the most well-known stories involves a girl's ghost who appears in the school's old auditorium. She is often seen wearing a white school uniform and is said to be a former student who tragically died in an accident on the school grounds many years ago. Students who have dared to stay late or wander near the auditorium report hearing her voice, soft whispers calling their name, along with the eerie sound of footsteps behind them, even when no one else is around. Other reports speak of objects moving on their own, sudden drops in temperature, and lights flickering without explanation. The most terrifying accounts are those of a shadowy figure, a dark silhouette that seems to move throughout the hallways, following anyone who ventures into the school after dark. Despite the numerous supernatural incidents, Ikoma High School continues to operate, though the presence of something otherworldly remains palpable, leaving those who experience it with an unforgettable sense of dread. 9 Yamanashi Prefectural High School, Yamanashi. In the quiet, almost serene town of Kamigamo, Kyoto, stands a school that carries an unsettling reputation, Kamigamo Junior High School. Though it appears to be a typical educational institution, it is notorious for its eerie paranormal history. The school's haunting is thought to be tied to the land it sits upon, which is rumored to have once been a battleground during Japan's feudal era. Local folklore suggests that the spirits of warriors who lost their lives on these grounds still linger, restlessly searching for peace. Students and staff alike have experienced strange phenomena over the years, but it wasn't until the 1990s that the school's ghostly reputation truly began to take hold. The first reports came from a group of students who, while exploring the school's abandoned wing, claimed to have seen strange shadows flickering in the corners of their eyes, only for them to vanish when they turned to look. Since then, others have spoken of an unseen presence following them through the school's long, narrow hallways, or of hearing whispers coming from empty classrooms. One particularly disturbing story involves a former teacher who claimed to have seen a ghostly figure of a child at the far end of a hallway, only for the figure to vanish as she approached. But what truly haunts the school is the presence of a shadowy figure, often described as a tall, dark silhouette, that has been spotted by numerous witnesses over the years. This figure seems to appear at random, often near windows or doorways, vanishing as soon as it is acknowledged. Despite its unsettling reputation, the school remains open, and while some dismiss the stories as mere superstition, the eerie atmosphere and the unsettling feeling many experience while on the grounds suggests there's something more to Kamigamo Junior High School's haunted legacy than simple imagination. 10 Old Inunaki School, near Inunaki Tunnel, Fukuoka. Located in the historic city of Nagoya, Aoi High School has long been shrouded in dark rumors and paranormal activity, making it one of the most hauntingly infamous schools in Japan. The origins of its haunting are believed to be linked to an unsettling event that occurred during the school's early years of operation in the 1950s. It's said that a student, after being tormented by bullying, took their own life in the school's main building. Since then, strange occurrences have plagued Aoi High, with many attributing the paranormal phenomena to the restless spirit of the student. The most commonly reported phenomenon is a cold, oppressive atmosphere that seems to descend upon certain areas of the school, particularly near the old classrooms and the schoolyard. Students who have stayed late in the school or entered abandoned areas have described hearing faint whispers, a constant presence that seems to follow them, and the sensation of being watched. One of the most chilling accounts involves the school's music room, where the sound of a piano playing, often with no one in the room, has been reported by several witnesses. Others claim to have seen the figure of a young girl in a school uniform, silently standing in the corner of classrooms, only to disappear when they blink or look away. Teachers, too, have spoken of inexplicable noises, footsteps echoing down the halls and voices calling out to them when no one is there. Despite numerous accounts from students and staff, the school has never officially addressed the rumors, and Aoi High continues to operate with its ghostly reputation intact. Whether these eerie happenings are the result of an unquiet spirit or a collective manifestation of fear, Aoi High School remains a place where the boundaries between the living and the dead seem to blur.